Players may not be buying Commander Masters due to its high price point. They may not be buying lots of sealed product from Wilds of Eldraine because of the low value of the secondary market. But there is a box right now that is being sold in quantity, and it's something players should know about. For a set that was hated and overpriced in 2022, it's surprising to see how many people are going back and cracking these boxes. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel today. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notification bells because each and every new subscriber is helping this channel get closer to 20,000 subscribers and the party we're going to have when we get there, because you're all going to be invited. Now, this set in 2022, and I did many videos on it, being overpriced, nobody buying the product because it was too expensive. And that is Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate. I have heard rumors for a little while, so I started looking into some sales numbers and getting information together, and it really is happening. People are buying this product. Now allow me to explain before we dive in. I bought this box at release. Okay, see, I got the thing on the back there. I think I paid $460. And after the box opening videos I did for some people and a few of the stores, we saw how hard it was to get some of the cards like the Ancient Dragons, and it was just not worth opening. So this became like my elf on a shelf, and it just kind of sits there looking pretty, doing nothing. Okay, it's just hiding in the background. And it's a reminder to how expensive these products are and how hard the value can be to grind out of the product. But what happens? If a product like this gets left in the dust, nobody cares about it, everyone leaves it alone, but there's still some pretty decent cards. Well, we know it didn't have multiple print runs. We know it got left behind, it got short run, and now it's done. It's gone. So who has it? Well, there's still quite a bit of it around, but the price has been creeping up. But it hasn't been creeping up everywhere. If you actually look around, especially if you're an American citizen and you get your hands on Canadian product, you are saving basically 30 cents on the dollar. Allow me to explain. Let's take a look at a local store here. If you look at this right now, you'll see the two underlined ones. We've got Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate draft box for $119.95 Canadian. So it's less than $100 US. And then you've also got the set booster boxes for $129, which again is still less than $100. And if you want to go for like one of these crazy ones, the really super $460, they're $269 Canadian. That's what's happened, okay? Because everyone left it behind. But what's actually happening after the fact is entirely different. Now, as you guys know, this was a large set. It had a lot of cards in it, a lot of unique cards that some players found interesting, but didn't see a lot of value. So let's take a look at what's happening inside this product. Number one, look at the rares this set contains. There are a lot of rares, a lot of cards in the set, and a lot of them actually have some value. Here is Black Market Connections. It's a $30 card. Bountiful Promenade and those all those luxury suite lands and stuff, they're all around like the $6 to $9 mark. When you go up further on the list here, you can see we've got things like Delayed Blast Fireball, Displacer Kit, remember the Archivist and stuff? And if we keep going, you'll also notice we've got more cards like the Friend of the Forest, we've got Jessica's Will, then you've got the Kindred Discovery, followed by Luxury Suite. Now, if you go ahead and take a look at the Mythics, though, this is where things can get interesting. Because you've got this whole slew here of the Ancient Dragons, right? You see all the prices there. Of course, the most expensive still being copper. But you've also got the Battle Angels of Tyr. Even things like the Balor are not dirt cheap. It's still like a $3 to $5 card US, right? Then you've got things like Blood Money. And remember, guys, things like Elminster, that never really panned out because it's a Planeswalker. But the other cards and how they fit in Commander is something to discuss. And when you see the price point of this product and how badly Wizards has managed their new product lineups with the new prices, I mean, guys, I love Wilds of Eldraine, but it's $160 something a box. I can save $40 a box and still have a chance of getting some half decent rares and mythics in there and make a few bucks at least in secondary market value, at least in my head. Even if I have no intention of selling it, it makes more sense. And that's kind of one of those funny conversations because these older products generally have gone on sale before. We've seen it before with lots of the other product lines, but we usually don't see the returns you could see in a set like Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate, because it was a Commander set based on the first one. Of course, in the Dungeons and Dragons world, it had amazing characters and themes. The ideas were all there. People just didn't like the power level, and they really didn't like the price point at the time. They felt it was kind of a ripoff compared to what we first saw. But isn't it funny how a hated product in 2022 can have people buying it on discount in 2023 and cracking open dozens, and in some cases 100 boxes plus, just to get at the cards and see if they can flip profit and meet the demand, because there are players still looking for these cards. If you looked at 401 or Face to Face, Harry T here in Toronto, take a look on TCG Player, you'll still find lots of these cards available, but there are ones that are sold out. There are ones that are harder to find, and that makes the prices hold longer than expected. And it's because players argued about the price and stayed away from the product. When they stay away, there's no reprintings, there's no desire. And if there's no desire, they're not reprinting it en masse, which means it gets left behind. Now, that doesn't mean, by any stretch of the imagination, these aren't getting reprinted at some point. So somebody who is willing to take the risk and dive into a product like this and assume that there might go to zero before they can sell all the secondary market cards out, that takes a lot of guts in 2023 in the reprint world we're living in. But if it's a Dungeons and Dragons set and you know you have a little bit of room, you might be willing to take that risk. And I know some people who emailed some photos of some of the sales they made, and yeah, I guess it can add up for some people willing to dive in there, and depending on the market space you're working in. Are you on TCG Player, Card Market? Are you selling locally or eBay? Depends on how you're getting your feelers out and getting your product to market. But some of these players are turning profits of 30%, and that's what I find kind of like, wow. And you look back at the videos I made back in 2022, if you just type in MTG Moxman and type in, you know, Baldur's Gate or Gate even, and you'll find a whole bunch of videos I did, some of them discussing the value, the spoilers, but others discussing how nobody could sell the product, how it was sitting on shelves, and of course it still is. Look, it's on discount. They're still trying to clear it out, but obviously some of the local stores are not aware of what's happening in the secondary market on the value of some of these cards and how players are still desiring to play with them. That's up to the players to decide, and it's up to the store to stay on top of what's going on in the market, right? Interesting stuff to see. And when I look back at this and you ask me, would you open it now? I still wouldn't open it. I paid $460 still, right? So the idea that I would have to get multiple ancient dragons to even try to come close to breaking even, what would I need? 8 to 10 of them? And we know you get maybe sometimes 0 in a box. I did multiple boxes that had 0 in it. We saw them. They're on the YouTube there. If you want to take a look, just look at my box opening videos. It was scary stuff back then. It was intimidating. But now when you look forward to things like, hey, it's a Commander Legends here, and you got these amazing products, and we're going to dive in there and go, this here is going to be it. This Commander Masters one is going to have everything you need. And yeah, lots of decent cards, but the price points don't make sense. Although this, oh yeah, it's only 4 packs. That was 12 still. I was going to say they're kind of closer in price, but it really isn't, is it? Because that's 4 packs and that's 12. So that one would probably still come out ahead or have a better chance of coming out ahead. And that's just a year ago. It's just a year ago. And how different the wheels turn when looking back on history like this and seeing how things are being taken. I mean, I look at the original, right? And that's the first time we had the Jeweled Lotus, the first time they put out. Everyone loved the product. And that box, I mean, it's sold like hotcakes, the original Commander Legends. It was like, what, 600, 700 bucks a box? And I think it's held pretty good price. It won't, though. We know these things go stale and sit on shelves. It's going to be there forever, just like it is all the local LGSs that still have them. Nobody wants to pay that price point. And every time they reprint a card like Jeweled Lotus, it makes it less likely that that box is ever going to sell. Where these ones, at 1/3 the cost, they still have a good chance of selling, and some people are buying them, taking the risk. And I just thought that was something players needed to know about because of the value that can be found inside. When you're looking at newer sets and you see just how little value there is, being able to go back only 1 year and see the amount of value packed in there makes you go, yeah, $5, $10, $15 card, still decent land base that goes for $7, $8 a land. This is something that Wizards needs to kind of get back on top of. But as well, that set has a lot of new cards. It's basically an entirely rehashed new set. And that's something Wizards needs to focus on a lot more to get player engagement to a newer, higher level. That and supporting Standard, as we talked about in yesterday's video, they really need to get in there. Now, before we end off today's video, I know this weekend I had a real hard time with the audio and the sound there. So I have ordered for the other location I film at, because I do film there. I'm going to order, I already have ordered the soundproofing equipment. So thanks to everyone who tried to help me out with the audio stuff and the echo effect. I've ordered a whole bunch of new equipment that hopefully will be coming. It was an expense, but it had to be done. I know you guys expect the best and you deserve it. So I'm going to put that stuff together in the next couple of weeks. And hopefully that will help solve some of that sound issue. And I'll put some dampening stuff on the wall. So you guys will let me know in the future videos. I'll put some comments at the end when I first do a video just to get some feedback. I really appreciate guys who took the time to help me out with that. Thanks again for being here, guys. Thanks a lot for letting me entertain you. It's amazing to be here every day. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for another video. Have an awesome day. And don't forget, bring a friend to Magic. And maybe, just maybe, you can go back, buy a box for like, I guess what, $80 US? Have a good draft night. It'll be fun. Guys, have an awesome one. Well, here we are at the end credits of the video. Again, I'd like to take this moment to thank every single one of the amazing Patreon supporters I have, the YouTube membership members who are stick by me each and every month, allowing for daily uploaded content. It's amazing to have the support. You guys make it happen. It retails for $109.95. It's got cobalt blue steel and a hair trigger. Shop smart, shop S-Mart. You got that? Remember that? Great line. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. Now, who would have thought when I'd heard from Alpha Investments, those two little comments in a few different videos, and I said, how good is that product selling? What's going on? He's mentioned it twice, and he's just looking at TCG Player. I went a little more in and started looking at wish lists at different stores, cards people were looking for. I asked questions about what was going on with the product, and I was surprised to see how much it was selling, and that's because a lot of these stores had it on sale. They want to get it off the books because they got nailed by things like Commander Masters. And they're just trying to generate cash, and they had these things inside their stores, so they put them out cheap. They got it off the books. And when people saw there were so many cards that were desirable, they were willing to take the risk and open a box. And that's what's kind of crazy about it. That's what makes you go, wow. And when you see all those cards, and you know what's fun? I almost stacked this thing up. I almost stacked the Battle for Baldur's Gate up against Commander Masters. But Commander Masters just has so many more mythics that I couldn't match it up. But you'd be surprised to see the values are, you know, not horrible. But price-wise, opening four boxes of this versus one box of that, you know, one box of Commander Masters set versus $4, where do you think you're going to come out ahead? You're going to win. You're going to win. It's going to happen. It's crazy. Anyway, thanks for hanging out the Ramble Jamble. Thanks for being here, guys. It's a crazy world when a hated product last year becomes the winner now that people are buying. Funny. Guys, thanks for hanging out. See you guys soon.